Parents of Reddit, what are your kids currently attempting to hide from you? A few years ago, I was going through my son's 3rd grade backpack and found a can of ravioli. That's all well, except I never bought any ravioli. When I asked him about it, he burst into tears and pulled out a box under his bed filled with ravioli. He then proceeded to tell me how this girl that picks on him and says they are married gives him ravioli every day and makes him take it. I can just picture this girl's mother telling her the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. I'm now picturing a 3rd grader forcing ravioli on another 3rd grader. My 3-year-old son lost his ball. When asked, he said he didn't know where it was. We assumed it had been left outside to blow away in a storm or some kid took it. So we bought him a new ball. As soon as we gave it to him, he said thanks, I'll get my other ball. He then ran straight to a bush in the neighbor's yard and pulled out his ball. My 2-year-old dropped out Echo Dot and split into 2 pieces. She attempted to sandwich it back together and put it back where it was, but now says stuff like Alexa play Mickey Mouse, and then when nothing happens she says oh Alexa what happened, you know dang well what happened and it's happened. I often wonder if that's a sign of excellent intelligence or a sociopath in development. LOL. Covering your tracks and gaslighting your parents is complex stuff for a 2-year-old. She's slowly been collecting pens and hiding them in her toys. So far, no coloring outside of paper and coloring books, though, so I'm letting her get away with it. Our fountain pens is leaking, or maybe this is how it starts. I just found out that my 6-year-old locks the bathroom door so he can get some privacy. Last night I looked across the kitchen to see the door slightly ajar and my son engaging in his private time, doing push-ups. I didn't say anything, just watched him finish his 5 reps, flex in the mirror and then walk out of the bathroom. You should just leave a can of spinach on the bathroom counter. Son, 7, ate half my bag of gummy bears. I know. He knows I know. I know he knows I know. I don't think he knows I know he knows I know. So now we wait until he cracks. Update. Son confessed to crime at 7:43 PM tonight. My brain eggs crashed while reading this. When I was a teen I came home stoned at least once a week and felt like the best actor ever after talking to my mom for like 20 minutes while assuming she didn't notice. When I was 20 she asked me if I stopped smoking weed because she really enjoyed our stoned conversations. Sounds like my mom. I would come home so baked and thought it was great that I could fool her and she would always offer me food snacks. Found out a few years later she smokes too and knew when I would come home high. My daughter is trying to impress me by learning origami. She's 7 and doesn't think that dad can see all the missing paper in the, messily but improving a lot, paper cranes hidden throughout her room. I bought 2 more reams of paper and just left them out on accident. Lazy old dad's not putting up his office supplies. My neighbors across the street have an 18-year-old daughter. Most nights at around 9:30 she has a young man crawl in through her window. I realize this because I'm usually wrapping up our evening dog walk at about that time. I'm not sure but I've counted at least 5 different young men based on build and race. She is doing a study for school and needs lots of test subjects. Got a 12-year-old and I definitely know his Reddit account cause the little turd used my email to sign up. Must not have thought that one through. I'm too scared to look at it though. I used to know and could easily find out my 18-year-old's Reddit. Nope, not gonna. He knows my account name. Wonder if he ever Reddit stalks me. Just this morning, a friend of mine told me he saw my 17-year-old son picking cigarette butts out of the ashtray at a gas station. So in one moment, I learned not only that my son is smoking cigarettes, but that he's a goddamn scrub as well. Not sure how to handle it, TBH. Offer to buy him nicotine gum patches and offer help to slowly wean off those. If he acts defensive, say I'm not mad and you aren't in trouble. But if you don't pick one of these options and continue digging used butts out of the tray at the gas station, then you will be in trouble. My 22-year-old son starts work at 6 AM. He left the house at 6:30 and came back 30 minutes later. I think he got fired. Update. He went to work today. I asked him if he went to work yesterday and he said everything was locked up and they had changed the unloading schedule that day and didn't tell him. Second update. The 15th of September, 2019. He slept in after staying up late with friends and finally got fired. He told us immediately. He owes us money. My 4-year-old wrote a letter she keeps in her bottom drawer. When me and my husband die, she will come home and get it. We're not allowed look at it or touch it, but apparently it says that we gave her loads of money and she gave us loads of pictures. I'm not sure what this says about her or us, but it will be interesting how long she keeps said letter. It's been a month so far. You're raising a lawyer. My kid would get up in the middle of the night and want a snack. He would sneak into the kitchen and eat a whole tomato except the little circle where it connected to the stem. He hid the little stem circles under whatever was on top of the trash and would go to sleep. We always made sure there were tomatoes for him. I did that with pickles. I'd sneak in the kitchen and just eat my weight in pickles. My 9-year-old stepdaughter was in her room one day for like hours with markers and papers. I thought she was drawing or making a picture book or something, so I'll let it slide. It turns out she had our calendar and was making cards for everyone for every holiday and birthday coming up. I haven't asked her about it, but I'm honestly super proud of her logic and long-term planning abilities. That's pretty sweet. Everybody's kids here are hiding books to read secretly. Mine's hiding in his bedroom trying to use a glue stick like lip balm. Keep an eye on that. The regular weirdos ate crayons and turned out okay. The kids eating paste were the delinquents. Himself. It's nearly bedtime. 2-year-old thinks I'll forget to put him to bed if he runs into another room for 30 seconds. If he was a bit older, I'd say he was playing Skyrim and thought the stealth system in that game is realistic. My 3-year-old thinks I don't know that she raids the snack cupboard when I'm out of the room. Her face is usually full of chocolate after. She also thinks I can't see her when she covers her eyes, so sneaks around me thinking she's in stealth mode to get to something she shouldn't. He's 18. He will wait until we go to bed and then hop the back fence to go to 7-Eleven for a Slurpee. After a couple of weeks of this, we confronted him and told him, 1. You're 18, so there is no curfew. 2. Hopping fences looks like criminal activity and our neighborhood watch is on point. 3. You have a driver's license, so take the car. 4. Don't act like you're fooling us. You're an adult now. Want a Slurpee? Go get it. You have money. Something is telling me that he's not buying Slurpees every night. My almost 2-year has started telling me crazy stories as if they are real. He recently told me that our dog rides a motorcycle to go play with her friends. Have you confirmed it with your dog that he's not riding a motorcycle? My 6-year-old is gobsmacked that I know about the rolling around on the floor instead of schoolwork. No idea the teacher can reach me anytime. Girlfriend's kids, 20 and 17, like to go work on the car together in the detached garage. Late at night. Yeah, pretty sure they're smoking weed. She likes to make them awkward by asking what they're up to. We see the 3-foot bong, you guys. As a kid, my friends and I would actually just go work on the car late at night. We were all pretty big into the Euro tuna scene. We would go smoke weed after the car was done though. That they are not tired, despite the usual crying and making you feel terrible until they shut their eyes and 30 seconds later are asleep. Parenting's a freaking whirlwind of emotions. When my son was 5, he stashed a bunch of blueberries under his pillow for later. Problem is, not only did they get squished night 1, but he forgot about them until we changed his sheets a few days later. Ugh. Death. We had a foster kid that hid about 2 handfuls of spaghetti with sauce under his pillow. Found it the next day while he was at school. Got it cleaned up. Never told him we found it. Made sure to have spaghetti twice a week thereafter. Fortunately, my teenager, 16, going on 17, doesn't try to hide much from me. She's a terrible liar and gets busted right away every time, so she just casually admits stuff these days. It's pretty great. However, she's been sneaking her boyfriend over to the house during the day while I'm at work and thinks I'm clueless. Girl, I know you eat a lot, but there's no way you're going through half a loaf of bread by yourself in one day. You also left his glass of water on the coffee table. I pretend to be a bad liar to my parents so they wouldn't suspect when I'm actually lying. My daughter is too shy to tell me she started her period. I'm not going to embarrass her. We've had the talk, and she can come to me if and when she's comfortable. I hid my period from my mom because I was deathly embarrassed for some reason. She found my blood-stained PJs though and asked me one day. I cried. She hugged me and told me it was natural and okay. Now I think back to her kindness and comfort very fondly. Don't let her keep it from you too long, as going it alone can suck. My son, 7, is hiding that he secretly loves forest school, summer club. Each day I pick him up. He moans that they don't do many activities, that it's terrible, no one wants to play with him and it isn't fun. The photos posted on their social media say otherwise, as well as the occasional slip-ups when telling us stories around the dining table. Edit. He is my son. I treat everything he tells me seriously, whether it is good or bad. As a person who was severely bullied as a child, I like to think that I try to assess every incident and situation regarding him better than my own parents did when I was young. But to clarify, he literally tells me every morning before we go that he wants to play Pokemon or Super Mario, that he doesn't want to get up at 7 AM, and that he has stuff to build on Minecraft. He didn't want to go because he genuinely wants to spend 6 weeks playing video games. Jesus. He is p that we aren't taking the Switch to Cornwall on holiday with us. However, he also wants to make friends, so I encourage him to go. I work closely with the club leader and teacher on how he finds each day. They continuously comment on how he really takes to group activities and shows great signs of leadership, etc. Guys, kids can be freaking stupid. They can be really stubborn and sometimes have a lot of pride. Believe it or not, some kids find it difficult to admit they were wrong about something, because they really freaking love computer games. Not a parent, but my story. Senior in high school, BF and I got home from school with about an hour alone. Got busy on the couch and mom came home early lol. We rushed around grabbing the wrong clothes. He hid in the bathroom. I busted butt upstairs and got dressed. She came in, acted normal, thought I was good. Right before she went out back to have a smoke, she said, by the way, boyfriend left his underwear on the floor by the couch and went outside. Was mortified lol. She was pretty cool about it though, offered to get me birth control and said she'd whoop my butt if I did that on her couch again lol. I aim to be this calm and collected as a mother someday. Where her dad's watches. I know where she hides it, and I've seen her wear it pretending to be him. It's so cute. I won't tell my husband though. Edit. Sorry for framing it weird. My husband is her father. He has a collection of watches, so I know he won't make a big deal out of it. She's gonna show up to daycare with a fresh Patek, like what, it's Monday. 6 years old, has started going to bed during the day for naps and chill out time. Also for the privacy to remove his pants and have a fiddle with it. I have no idea how to broach this subject, so I'm not gonna. Mine fiddles with his a lot. Also 6. I tell him that it is fine if he wants to touch himself, but he needs to do it in private because no one wants to see that. I also tell him that he is allowed to touch himself whenever he wants, but no one else is allowed to touch him. It's only going to get worse, so I figured I would at least have him do it in his room lol. Mine doesn't try to hide anything. He's a year and a half old. He just grabs things he isn't supposed to and runs away yelling, run 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 run. That's cute. My 1.5-year knocks stuff over on purpose and says oh. My 13-year-old stepson looking up Roblox P on Pornhub on his phone. His mother and I don't know how the heck to approach it, so we're kinda just leaving it alone. Chalk it up to puberty, I guess. SMH, he should be on Minecraft P, he is a fake gamer S. My kid Noah, 15, is trying to hide the fact that he's found a girlfriend. He thinks he's really smart by just saying he's going out to get food every now and then, but it's so easy to tell that he's going to see someone. Also, his girlfriend snitched on him. She told us that she liked him. My GF's roommate worked for my mother. Very small business and just a summer job at like 15. Secret didn't last. Yule Mancini 4 takes the cake. Boarding school. My teenage daughter is hiding the fact that her boyfriend and her got into a huge fight over something dumb to one of them, but important to the other. She did end up telling me it was important to him but dumb to her. Turns out after some snooping, that he asked her for nudes and told her that if she didn't send them to him they were through. He also implied that if she didn't send them she was OS, so she told his butt to take a hike. Really proud of her, but not so proud of how I found out. So, I just have to stay quiet. Our son, 3, thinks he's hiding his body when we play hide and seek. Really, he just makes eye contact with us till he goes into his spot, softly counting 1, 2, 3 until 10. He proceeds to cover his eyes and says, "Try to find me, mommy, daddy," and it's the cutest and funniest thing to us. My 3-year-old does the same. He also gives hints and giggles whenever I get close to where he is. It's awesome. The Pez dispenser's in his nightstand. He eats them in secret pretty sparingly, so I'll let it go. He's 6. A 6-year-old with self-control and willpower is pretty impressive. Our son, 9, is taking his marbles to school and screwing other kids out of their marbles. He's got a real hustle going on there. He's not allowed to take any toys to school, hence why he's hiding it. I checked his school backpack and found probably a kilogram worth of marbles in there. We are having a talk this afternoon. Will the talk involve increase your profit margins, choose your clientele, become exclusive, do less work but for higher returns? Because it definitely should. No kid should have to lug a kilo of marbles about. My 12M son went on a double date. My husband happened to be driving through town and saw the 4 of them together. I asked him and he said they happened to be going to the same place. The mother of the other boy had the scoop and filled me in. I let my son know that he shouldn't lie to me and it is perfectly fine for him to be going on a double date. He apparently paid for the fries. I offered to drive him and the others somewhere if they wanted to go again. If he's 12, he probably didn't tell you because he knew you would offer to drive. My mom was the coolest, but I still didn't want her to embarrass me around girls. I left jerk-off socks under my bed when I moved out. Next time I visited I went to remove them and yup, they were already gone. Stains were still there, though, never been mentioned. To all the teenagers on here, your parents know more than you think and are also more ignorant than you think. The trick is, you won't know in which areas until they tell you, usually years later. My effing dishes plates. They sneak food up to their rooms so they can game and digest at the same time but forget to bring the dishes downstairs. When I get in a hissy fit because I have to make my sandwich on a Tupperware lid, they swear they have not used any plate, but when I enter my kitchen later, a wonky tower of china looms in my sink for me to Jenga wash. Ugh. Make them wash that crap, or buy your own plates just for you, and eventually they will have to learn to wash them because they are out of their own plates. When I was in 3rd grade I didn't do my homework and my parents needed to sign a form acknowledging I didn't. I forged my mom's signature as Mom Jones. I had no clue my mom's name wasn't Mom. I am still not a smart man. My kid is 5. She sneaks food under her blanket, wrapped snacks, for later and is always amazed when I find them. My youngest sister at that age would waltz into the living room eating an Oreo when we wouldn't have bought them for weeks. She was much smarter at hiding them. Then again she was eating stale Oreos. The mother of my cousin thinks he smokes weed because one day he came back home with red eyes. He told me it was just pollen because he is allergic, hahaha. For the record, he is the most innocent kid I know. He is 14 and he is very pure. He would probably be scared to see a blunt, haha. When I was 17-18 and started wearing contacts my eyes were red. Always got confronted about smoking weed. Never mind the fact that I was never a second out of their presence. Nope, must have smoked it on the school bus on the way home from school. My 4-year son is currently trying to hide that he pees his bed. His dad questioned him the other morning asking if he did and he said number, even though we were holding his wet pants. When we asked whose pants they were he said mommy's. We asked again if he peed his bed and he said no, mommy did it. Little bastard. The remote son of a bee is 16 months old, but dang good at hiding things. Tore the living room apart and no luck. Next logic step is to waterboard his teddy bear. No waterboarding. In America, we call it tactical baptism. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.